Merry Christmas, boys. Merry Christmas. Beautiful morning. I don't know about you guys, but we had a Chinook all night last night in Cardston. It's literally quite a beautiful morning out there. Hey, I still haven't been able to see Brad's. I got technical difficulties with my iCloud or something, but I'll get on that. Look forward to that. And should appreciate you guys. I find it mildly shocking that on a Christmas morning, man, one of the first things on my mind is I got to get my video done. So, and here it is. Years ago, I was teaching in Tremont, Utah, and there's two seminary buildings. One's called the Garland Seminary. It's actually just out of Tremont and Garland, but it's one of those situations where the towns have joined, and that's the senior seminary. It's right beside Bear River High School. And there's like 7 full-time guys, and wait a second, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 7 full-time guys and 2 op teachers. Those are guys working with Utah State to get hired. And then right down the road, right across from the junior high in Tremont, actually, is the junior seminary. It's a 2-man deal. It's just like our buildings in Cardston, McGrath, and Raymond. And I was teaching, I taught at both of those, but I was teaching at the junior one time with a guy named Kent Black, Jim, heck of a good guy. And we were pretty good buddies. And we both had a prep hour, and I was kicked back, loosened my tie, didn't have my jacket on, of course, and feet up on my desk, and I was up to no good. You know, I was just farting around. And all of a sudden Ken says, he says, "Hey, Elder Johnson." And for those of you who don't know Elder Paul Johnson, at the time he was our uppity up somehow, but then he's since been commissioner, and anyways, he's a big up boss in Seminary and Institute. And he's like, "Hey, Elder Johnson." And I said some smart, maybe even somewhat inappropriate remark to Kent, and in walks Elder Johnson to my office. And I was, stunned, embarrassed, jump up. And we actually had a pretty good visit. He's a heck of a nice guy. And Kent came in mocking me and had a good visit. And then the classes started coming in. And Elder Johnson goes, "Well, boys, it seems like things are going good here. We'll have a good one." And I was like, "Hey, like you're rubbing shoulders with the prophets every day. Why don't you stay and tell my class something cool, And he says, "Okay, I will." And he's actually a pretty quiet guy when it comes to kids around and stuff. And so he kind of waited, and kids all got in. Of course, they didn't know who he was. And so I turned the time over to him, and I didn't have a clue what was coming. And anyways, here's the story he told. He's in a church office building. He's walking down the hall, and he walks by President Packer's office. Excuse me. President Packer says, "Hey, come in here, Paul. I want to talk to you." And tells him a story about when him and Sister Packer were in Germany doing a mission tour. And they had these 2 fine elders taking them around West Germany. And then they were moving into East Germany. So these 2 elders took him to the train station and said their goodbyes. And President Sister Packer got on the train. The train's actually pulling out of the station. And all of a sudden, one of these elders just comes running down the boardwalk right beside the train, banging on the window. And so President Packer, Sister Packer, somewhat stunned. President Packer opens the window. And this kid, elder, just sticks his hand in the window and gives him a 10-mark note. Pretty sure. Putting this out on YouTube. I hope I'm accurate. But anyways, hands him some money. Pretty sure it was a 10-mark note. And that's it. They're gone. The elder can't keep up to the train anymore, and off they go. President Packer puts it in his pocket and somewhat surprised. And just a little bit later, when they're passing into East Germany, the guards get on the train, and they're checking paperwork. And they get to Sister Packer, and apparently there's a problem. So they're going to take her away. And President Packer is stunned, feels the gravity of the situation, and remembers that. So he reaches in, hands him the money, the guard the money, just kind of quietly. And the guard kind of gives him a nod and gives Sister Packer her freedom back and leaves. And they get sat down, and they're like, "What the world?" And this other German guy on the train leans over, and he's like, "You guys have no idea how lucky you are. What made you think to do that? You might not have seen her again for months." Good. Just doing a little video, actually. My brother-in-law. That's how not used I am to being a father-in-law. Sorry, yes, flustered. That was my son-in-law. Okay, so you have no idea how lucky you are. And so President Packer's like, wow, what the heck happened, you know? And he tells Elder Johnson, he says, you know who that elder was? And Elder Johnson, of course, like us, is like, no. He says his name was Elder David A. Bednar. And Elder David Bednar, Elder Bednar, whatever it was at the time. And he leans over to Elder Johnson. He says, that's the type of missionaries we need. And I was stunned, and the kids were all very into that. And so it stuck with me. And I love that challenge. And I wanted to say Merry Christmas, and let's keep doing what we're doing. I sure appreciate it. And live so that we can, in the moment, listen to the promptings of the Spirit, and be like Josh, right? Back on his examples too. But as Wade said, that's probably a bit of a repeat, but that's what's been on my mind. So I love you guys. Have a great day.